Hello everyone, Loremaster of Sotek here, and the good times just keep rolling. Hope you're all doing well and you had an excellent weekend, but we've got more Seraphon / Lizardman releases. I don't know why I'm wearing headphones coming out this week, and man, it just keeps getting better and better and better. I'm kind of wondering where this train is going to end. Granted, I don't hope it ends anytime soon, but the sheer volume of models we're getting is kind of insane. So today's article says, here at Warhammer community, our sacred orreries are forever scanning the heavens, looking to fulfill our great plan, bringing you incredible images from the future of Warhammer. We have previously scried upon the searing spawn of Sotek and the blessed Source Astrolith Bearer, and the astral energies today have converged just in time for us to augur the skink priesthood. While the sagacious Slon Starmasters spend their lives unpacking and executing the complex cosmic plans of the old ones, quotidian matters of Seraphon society fall to skink scholars and priests, who are in turn led by shrewd skink Starseers. So we have a new Starseer mini. I'm going to go ahead and finish reading the rest of the article, and then we'll come back to this. Don't let the small size of these reptilian rectors fool you. Skink Starseers are second only to the Slon in their mastery of the arcane powers. Much like their Castilian commanders, skink Starseers float into battle on arcanite palanquins, which conduct thaumaturgical energy and boost the wizard's powers. Utilizing astromantic tools, orbs of pure star glass upon their throne's inbuilt dais, they read the constellations to provide celestial guidance to Seraphon armies. Once per battle in the hero phase, these heavenly hieromancers can provide vital information by choosing to scry the stars. Depending on the knowledge snatched from the Empyrean expanse, they roll a number of dice equal to the current battle round, with each roll of 2 or more blessing a unit with a 5+ ward save, which is super freaking strong. Though it is once per battle. So it's like the later you use it, the stronger it is, but you don't want to wait to use it too late, because then you won't get your value out of it. Don't leave it up to divination to ensure your news from the future of war. Okay, sign. Okay, so yeah, this is actually a really exciting model release. So this is Tetto'eko, right? So Tetto'eko from Warhammer Fantasy was introduced in 8th edition and was a skink priest who was so powerful and revered by the Lizardman that he earned his own palanquin of the old ones, his own throne to ride upon, so that he could better utilize his astromancy and could also be protected. And he was a very, very big deal character for the Lizardman, because he was like the skink priest character and had a lot of really fun and pretty powerful abilities. But the problem with him, along with a lot of Lizardman, the former Lizardman special characters, is that he was in resin, and now he's going to be a plastic kit. So that is super duper exciting. I'm also really glad to kind of see this kit being more of kind of a generic reveal, or a generic unit. So you can see there's 2 different versions. This version is much closer to the original Tetto'eko. The helmet design is the exact same as Tetto'eko's. On this guy, and the only difference between him and the original Tetto'eko sculpt really is that Tetto'eko is he's much older looking. He's a very ancient looking skink because he's near the end of his natural lifespan, and he's also sitting cross-legged like the Slon tend to do. But here you can kind of see that this skink, I assume it's just the paint job, but I'm not sure exactly what to pin it on. I would think it's the paint that makes him, or the colors that make this skink seem like he's older, or maybe it's just his stance, because it kind of looks like he's tired and sitting down. But I think if you were to kind of kit bash these together, you could come out with something that's extremely close to the original Tetto'eko design. But it's a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous model. I am stupidly excited for this new Seraphon book. I've been absolutely loving Night Haunt and having a lot of great times with them, and I still intend on playing them a fair bit in Age of Sigmar. But man, my lizard blood's calling, man. It's calling me home. I've got the oh my god, that West Virginia song playing, but for Lustria. Like it's time. It's time for me to go home and rejoin my people. But they're looking absolutely amazing. I love that looks like he's got like the feathered cloak on, but it's an absolutely beautiful sculpt. I'm super duper excited about it. That's also not the only news we have relating to Lizardman and fantasy stuff. I am really curious to see how this model is going to be utilized in the old world. I'm assuming they're just going to kind of go with the idea that there are regular skinks that are occasionally awarded palanquins, and that's just going to be a lore update instead of being Tetto'eko being the only one, because Tetto'eko is not around in the old world. The old world takes place in at the end of the 2200s going into the 2300s of the imperial calendar, so it's about 200 years before the modern Warhammer Fantasy timeline. And Tetto'eko is only 100 years old, so Tetto'eko won't even be spawned for another century after Warhammer the Old World begins. So in order to utilize this model, it's going to have to be a generic character, which would make sense because there's like different head designs and stuff. That being said, you could absolutely use him as Tetto'eko for if you like play 8th edition fantasy, as long as you have him on the right base. So looks absolutely amazing. I actually like it much more than the original Tetto'eko sculpt, which is great. I will say I'm kind of shocked at just the sheer volume of new miniatures we're getting for the Seraphon. I feel like we have not had this big of a model range release for, I guess technically, I guess the Soulblight Gravelord's range release was bigger, but I also feel like a lot of the Soulblight Gravelord stuff was kind of like we got to see snippets of it, or they kind of like released the sculpts early in the Cursed City board game. Where like that's where we saw the new skeletons and the new zombies and a lot of the units that we would come to see later. I mean, but it did come with a bunch of other releases as well. But that was probably, at least to my mind, that was probably the last release that felt as big as this one. Like Chaos has had a couple of nice model releases for their most recent book, but they still, like, it was still not crazy. This one's feeling kind of crazy because it kind of feels like they're just going nonstop every Monday. They've been releasing new Lizardman stuff, and we still have like easily 2 or 3 months to go before the Lizardman reveal or the Seraphon book actually releases, because they've told us I think it's going to be like the first big summer book. And we still have to get through, there's 2 more, we still have 2 death books coming out, which is probably going to be next month. And then, I think there may be like one other thing before Seraphon. But in any event, I am very much looking forward to, no. It's that we still have to release the Khorne and Slanesh books because the Caradron Overlord book just came out. So we still have to get the Khorne and Slanesh battle tomes out, which will be sometime in the next few weeks. And then a few weeks after that, they have to release at least one or both, probably both, of the new death books. And then after that, by a bunch of weeks, is going to be the Seraphon reveal or release. So, I mean, there's still a long way to go. If they're going to be doing us every Monday, I will say, the only thing that's left that I like need is new Saurus cavalry. If we got new Croxagors, I would be elated, beyond elated. And then after that, like, they could really do whatever they wanted, and I would be thrilled. It could be that maybe they're getting rid of all the Citadel Finecast stuff, which I would not be upset about. I don't really like working with Finecast. I would much prefer working with plastic, so going to a pure plastic range would not be bad by any means of the imagination. But they'd have to do quite a few things to do that. They'd have to get rid of the Croxagor, or they'd have to replace the Croxagors, the Gorok model, which is known nowadays as the Saurus Sunblood, the Chockox model, which is known nowadays as the Eternity Warden. They'd have to get rid of the Razordawn, or replace the Razordawn. The Croxagors are Finecast, so they'd have to replace those. So, I mean, that's at minimum 5 more releases, that is a lot. But, like, I don't necessarily need all of them. I honestly think the Saurus Sunblood / Gorok and the Eternity Warden / Chockox have held up really, really well. I don't need those to be new sculpts. Like, obviously, it'd be nice just to have better sculpts as well as plastic, but I could happily live with the design they have now, at least for a while. but I am very, very curious to see where they're going to go with this. But in any event, before I derailed myself, like I always do, we do also have more stuff, which is that there must be an article coming for the Lustria expansion for the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, because new art has been appearing on the mobile version of the Cubicle 7 website. It's not on the regular version. If you go to it on your PC, you're not going to see anything. But if you go to Cubicle 7's website on your phone, you can occasionally catch new artwork. So we have these really delightful, adorable toad creatures that have kind of scary fangs. I don't think these are bloat toads. I don't remember bloat toads having spikes. But you know, there's like thousands of different kinds of, or if not millions of different kinds of like toads and reptiles in Lustria. So they could be literally anything. So these guys are absolutely adorable. But the thing that I saw that was really exciting was this guy. So this is some skink priest art that looks absolutely phenomenal. And the thing that I love so much about this, that old Longbeard fans might recognize, is that this is like one of the OG skink priests from the Lizardman redesign in 6th edition. So in 6th edition Warhammer Fantasy, they released the original metal skink priest when the Lizardmen got their update to kind of their more modern aesthetic. Back then had this guy where he has the staff with the Skaven Grayseer skull on the top. Like I own at least 2 of these guys. Obviously it's significantly more badass looking than the original mini, because the mini was fairly simple. But like between I love how he's got like the quills from the feathers like put into his crest to really hold him in place, which you wonder how painful that was. But it's beautiful art. I really hope this means that we're getting an article. Maybe not today, but at least sometime this week. Obviously, when they release it, I will be covering it, because I am following Lustria like a hawk right now. Which, very excitingly, I think we're probably going to be doing something with Cubicle 7. I have actually had some back and forth with them, so I'm really, really excited for where that's going to go. Hopefully, we'll be able to come up with something cool to do for the community, as well as learning more about this upcoming expansion. But there's a lot of Total War things and lore stuff I want to talk about this week, but I kind of wanted to start this week off by focusing on kind of like tabletop and roleplay stuff. So that is going to be it for me today, though I am going to be streaming quite a bit. So if you're bored, feel free to pop over to www.twitch.tv/Loremaster Sotek and say hello to me. It would be great to be able to meet you if I haven't had the chance already. And we can chat about some Warhammer lore while playing, I don't know, probably Witcher 3 or maybe some Total War Warhammer as well later today. But, well, you know, I'm going to do it in a separate video. In any event, yeah, that is going to be it for me today. I hope you all have a lovely Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow for some Total War stuff. We'll also, I think probably on Thursday, talk about a lot of things regarding Blood Bowl 3. I'm going to, like, really talk about it here on YouTube, because I've talked about it a bit on Twitch because I played it, because the game is it's interesting, and I think there's some really, really positive things coming for that game, and I do think it's worth talking about just because the initial reception was kind of rough, and I think it's important to get the news out as far as like how the game is progressing since then. In any event, yeah, that's it. Bye bye.